Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Call Holoyim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Harakwadash. We're blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And verse 49, it says, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Right? Esau don't give a good damn about how old you are, how young you are. He don't give a damn about you being his own people or not. Right? If he has an agenda and you in the way, shit, it's over with for you. Let me see. Go to the book of Salah, 1 second. And so this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Right? These devils do some real vile stuff. Right? One thing I can think of is what happened in Tuskegee, Alabama. With the syphilis experiments. I believe another experiment happened in Puerto Rico. I could be wrong. Around about the same time. And of course, all the things that happened during, antebellum slavery. So ain't nothing new under the sun. That's what scripture say. The devil did it before, he'll do it again, because the Most High gave him power to. So the thing that's just now making its way on the news is what happened in Ohio, right? The derailment of a train, and basically what came after it, really what came during it and after it, right? So, the devil real life tried to play it off like nothing was wrong, right? There was one eyewitness that said basically the local news channels, and I believe the local authorities were telling the people that there are no chemicals in the fire that was on the train. There are no chemicals, so y'all good. People were trying to leave, but instead of being real with the people and telling them, hey, y'all might want to, evacuate as soon as possible, they were trying to get people to stay instead of telling them to leave. I think it's still on that same tip even to this day. I think they still telling them, don't leave, just stay. Right? But like I said, man, the devil don't give a damn if you his people or not. Right? So, let this video play. I'll be back.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. East Palestine, Ohio sits directly on the border of Pennsylvania. It's just feet away. So anything significant that happens there in East Palestine, say a toxic mushroom cloud rising thousands of feet over the town, is certain to affect the state next door. And that's why 3 days after a train derailed there, spilling a great volume of dangerous chemicals onto the ground and into the water, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, held a press conference about it. Shapiro announced that authorities had decided to set those chemicals on fire. And that was a very good thing. No one should be unduly alarmed. The burning of these chemicals, Shapiro said, had gone, quote, as planned. Officials on the scene, meanwhile, declared the burn, quote, perfect. Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, agreed with all of this. The people in charge, the railroad's engineers, and the state officials overseeing them had everything under control. So 2 days later, evacuation orders for residents were officially lifted, both in East Palestine and over the border in Pennsylvania. That was last week. In the subsequent days, a lot of people have wondered out loud, was it really a wise decision to light thousands of gallons of vinyl chloride on fire, releasing a World War I era bioweapon into the air over a populated area? Was that a good call? And was it really safe 2 days later for people to go back to their homes? And if it was safe, how do we know that? Is anyone in charge actually monitoring with any accuracy the level of deadly chemicals in the air, ground, and water in and around East Palestine? Well, no, apparently nobody is. And that's highly upsetting when you think about it. Talk about a failure at all levels. The first duty of government is to protect its citizens. So it's bad. And it's very bad news for reckless politicians like Josh Shapiro and Mike DeWine, who may have helped make this disaster much worse.
So if you didn't catch that, they burned it on purpose. Out of the mouth of the governor and out of the mouth of local authorities. They did that on purpose. Right?
So tonight, both DeWine and Shapiro are desperately trying to revise their previous statements about the so-called controlled burn. Both have now decided that the toxic mushroom cloud over East Palestine, the one they signed off on and endorsed on television, was actually a bad thing. It didn't go as planned. It wasn't perfect.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 120 and verse 2. Deliver my soul, O Yahweh, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. Right? That's what we praying for deliverance from, this damn devil, man, this deceiver. Right? Because every way of this devil is crooked as hell. Ain't nothing good about him. Right? From the system that he created to the conditions that we live in on an everyday basis that was also created by the devil via social media, via the media, music, movies, right? Different quote unquote celebrities that are influenced by this devil to have the people move and maneuver a certain way that is not right. And we deal with the consequences of it every day. And the majority of the Most High's people can't see that they've been brainwashed, can't see that they're highly influenced by devils and demons. So we just got to deal with it. But scripture just said, man, deliver my soul, right? O Yahweh, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. We praying from deliverance from this damn devil, man.
And both governors have now identified the villain here, not as themselves, no, of course not, but as the railroad, Norfolk Southern. Both are considering lawsuits against the company. In an act of amazingly brazen butt covering, Josh Shapiro even wrote a letter to the White House and the Transportation Department, claiming that Norfolk Southern was, quote, unwilling to explore or articulate alternative courses of action to their proposed vent and burn. It was very obvious, he says, that there was probably a, quote, safer overall approach for first responders, residents, and the environment. That was very obvious. He just never said anything about it. It's remarkable. And for the record, we are not defending Norfolk Southern here. We're only pointing out that Norfolk Southern had the strong endorsement of Josh Shapiro and Mike DeWine when it set those chemicals on fire and caused the mushroom cloud. And by the way, the Biden administration endorsed it too.
Know why all of these politicians are endorsing these businesses? It's because they are in pocket, right? You can look this up. USA is a corporation, right? Facts. It's a business. So the question is, who owns the business? The business is influenced by other businesses, right? If you haven't paid attention to the past on how the daughter of Babylon operates, whenever big business seems to be falling on its last leg, what happens? What does the government do? They give them what? Bailouts, right? Big corporations get bailouts. What do the average person get? Not a damn thing. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps and go get you a job and start throwing unemployment numbers in your face. It's because this place is a business, man. Right? It's the book of Obadiah, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? right? This devil is being exposed for what he really is by his own people, by his own so quote unquote friends, his own allies, calling this devil out, right? Because enough is enough, man. Enough is enough.
According to Pete Buttigieg, Biden officials were on the scene. Yet somehow they never said a word about the mushroom cloud until pictures of it evoked outrage on social media. And of course they didn't. They didn't even notice. It had nothing to do with equity or climate change. East Palestine is a poor white town that voted for Trump. So honestly, who cares? No one in the Biden administration did care. And that's an atrocity. The people whose indifference made it possible should lose their jobs, beginning with Pete Buttigieg and extending to Governors Josh Shapiro and Mike DeWine. They didn't care, and they got caught not caring. Even tonight, Mike DeWine clearly still doesn't care. Here he is insisting everything's fine.
So if it were your family, Governor, you'd be okay sending everybody back home?
Yeah, look, I mean, we indicated that. We're going to continue to test the air. We're going to continue to test the water. But what that is indicating is that it is very, very safe.
Yes, we indicated that. Kind of a clinical response. And a dishonest one, because of course Mike DeWine is not living in East Palestine. And there's no chance of that ever. Animals in East Palestine are dying by the thousands. And you don't need to be a chemist to know that's not a good thing. The town has been poisoned.
Residents worry about what's still in the air, soil, and water of their rural community.
Don't tell me it's safe. Something's going on if the fish are floating in the creek.
Ohio officials confirming some 3,500 fish died in local waters in the days after the derailment, but insist extensive testing shows there's no threat to other wildlife or humans. They say there's only anecdotal evidence of residents getting sick and no confirmed connection to the hazardous chemicals aboard the train.
Oh, there's only anecdotal evidence. Also called observed reality. Maybe Tony Fauci will show up soon to lecture us about the science. Amanda Bashirs will probably not listen. She lives there, 10 miles from East Palestine in Lima, Ohio. She says that even at Lima, at that distance, burning chemicals smell like chlorine and hurt her eyes. And she also says her chickens, and this is not a good sign no matter what they say, are dying without explanation.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found.
Amanda Brashears was going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure.
I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family.
Brashears says her chickens were alive and well yesterday. She believes the smell following the detonation of the train carrying chemicals that derailed in East Palestine is to blame for her birds' sudden death.
My video camera footage shows my chickens were perfectly fine before they started this burn. And as soon as they started the burn, my chickens slowed down and they died. If it can do this to chickens in one night, imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 5. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Right? Scripture says when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, basically the people rejoice. Right? So as long as these devils are in authority, man, when I tell you everything mourns, verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Right? The air hate this nigga. The trees hate this nigga. The earth hate this nigga. The animals hate this dude. And the reason why is because of what we seeing right now. Who does this on purpose? Who releases toxic chemicals in the air on purpose? Killing animals. That stuff ain't just landing on animals. It landed in the water too. It ain't just landing in the water. It's in the air. It's not just in the air. It's in the trees and in the grass. Who does that, man? The damn devil does it.
So as always, if you want to know what people really think, ignore what they say. Words are cheap and people lie. Watch what they do. Mike DeWine may say it's safe to be in East Palestine, but you'll notice he's not spending the night there. One woman who does live there noticed that federal officials, while assuring everybody everything was fine, were wearing hazmat suits.
When you watch people that are investigating, they all have these giant hazmat suits on, but somehow it's safe for people to go back to these homes. They only evacuated a mile out-ish. Anybody outside of that, you're kind of on your own. If you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to drink bottled water, go for it, buy it. If you want to, but it's all on our own dime. And this is caused by, a company who makes billions of dollars and we're forgotten about.
So the people who live there obviously want some answers. It's totally safe, says the guy in the hazmat suit. So residents of East Palestine Center gathered for a town hall. The mayor has just told residents that he has not heard from anyone in the White House, didn't until yesterday when it started to become a political liability.
See how that go? Right? A lot of these folk are real life believing in their politicians. They're believing in the Babylonian dream. But that thing slowly but surely crumbling down. I ain't gonna say slowly but surely. It's quickly crumbling down. Right? Why? Because the Most High is constantly exposing this devil. And how can he constantly expose the devil? Because the devil is always and constantly being the devil. He never stops. He never will stop. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna have to stop him. Otherwise, man, this place is doomed. Earth is doomed. People are doomed. Right? This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We clearly see every move this devil make because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is allowing us to see it. But now he's allowing everybody to see it. How I say all the time, this devil going to be exposed until he gets destroyed. Right? So I am with that, man. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushua these precepts in this video are edifying. Kol holoyim la Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Bahashem Harakha Kodash Shalom Yahshua.